Well, I tried going outside today. The weather is just real bad. There's like this cold rain that's, the one that when it hits your forehead, you kind of get a headache from the cold. So it's going to be a little bit of an inside vlog today, a little bit of a talk. Let's talk about the things I miss from Holland. So I've been living in Sweden for a little over 10 years now, and almost 11 years by now. Jeez, time flies. Anyway, I love Sweden. I really enjoy living here. I've never looked back. I don't want to move back to Holland. But there are a few things that I miss from Holland. Let's start with the obvious. The first thing I miss is food things. You know, good things to eat. Um, Sweden does have good food, don't get me wrong, but there are certain things that Sweden doesn't sell that they did in Holland that I miss. This list includes kano's, hagelslag, vlokken, filet américain, broodje tartaar, raspatat, bitterballen, frikandellen, kroketten, and probably some more things that I'm forgetting. But roze koeken, yes, I want some. Yeah, there's just they don't have those things here. What I'm happy about, I used to miss peanut butter as well, a good Colfay peanut butter, but Sweden has upped their peanut butter game, so I know where to buy some good peanut butter now. The next thing is opening times. Businesses and shops open during certain times of the day that are just a lot more convenient in Holland than here in Sweden. Businesses tend to be closed a lot more often here in Sweden during like Sundays or breaks, or they don't open as long in the evenings. Now, this is interesting to me because, a normal workday for the average person is 9 to 5, and most businesses close at 5 too, which makes me think like, when are you getting your customers? If you want the most customers, you open a little bit past 5 so that people have the time to go from work to your business and do their shopping or their business or that kind of stuff. Um, Now, grocery stores have good opening times, don't get me wrong, but everything else just closes a bit too often and too soon. Here in Sweden, they also close for lunch breaks. Back in Holland, it's like, oh, you got a customer, put your lunch down, go help the customer. After that, you go back to lunch. You know? But here in Sweden, lunch is sacred. Nothing wrong with a sacred lunch. It's just not great for the customers. Now, I'm not going on a walk or anything, but I did go to the store and bought myself some electric candles from a good brand. I bought some bad ones a while ago, just from Amazon, like 10 for 30 euros. And those were really bad. They just weren't. It was like PVC tube with LED at the top. But these ones, look at this. Ooh, these are quite pretty. Good quality too, and they come with a remote control. Yeah, these look a lot better. Now, while I put the batteries in these guys, the next thing on my list of things I miss is competition. I don't miss competition for myself. I miss competition between companies here. Now, I don't live in a big city here in Sweden. I live a little bit more in the countryside, and businesses don't have enough competition between each other, in my opinion. They don't care if they lose you as a customer, which is a little bit sad. You know, in Holland, every business or store really wants you as a customer because there's so much competition out there. Every customer counts. It's not the same here in Sweden. Not all customers count. Um, So if you want something that they can, that is a bit more difficult, they're just gonna say no, or they say we've got an easier job somewhere else. As opposed to Holland, they gonna be like, oh yeah, we'll make it happen. So yeah, that's just a little bit sad. The competition is a healthy thing for the economy and a healthy thing for customers and innovation in businesses. Ooh, look at that. That's a really nice glow. I like that. That's a good purchase. All right. So yeah, competition between stores is something, stores and businesses is important for the customer experience, which means because of the lack of competition, that also means that they don't have to be as customer oriented. They don't have to be nice to the customers. Some people just, don't have good customer service because of that. Because they're the only business in town, which means you gotta have to deal with them anyway. Another thing I miss, and this is not just because of Sweden, I think this would be anywhere where you live deep in the forest. Because when I was living in Holland, I was living in a town or a city. And now in Sweden, I live in the middle of the forest. I have half an hour drive until I get to the closest store. And that makes me miss, the ease of getting things. It's like, oh, we're out of milk. Let me go to the store real quick and get some. That you can't do that here where I live in the forest. You can't just hop into the car or on your bicycle and go get something real quick. If you want to go shopping or do something, you have to plan it. And that's sometimes inconvenient, but I rather have that inconvenience than living in the city. I love living in nature. I mean, those candles look pretty good, right? You can almost not tell that they're fake from this distance. The last thing I want to talk about that I really miss is availability of stuff. So, here in Sweden, we're at the top of Europe. Um, and yes, they produce things in Sweden, but not that much. So, if you want to get anything, you have to order it through the internet. The stores do have things, but they aren't as fully packed as in Holland. Like you go into a grocery store in Holland and there's so much to choose from. Here there is much less to choose from. Also, if you want to get certain things, certain electronics or stuff, you have to go to a big city to get it. Not every store has everything you need. There was a lot more products available in Holland than they are here in Sweden. So that means you order a lot of things online instead of going to stores to get it. And that, of course, comes with an extra waiting time and cost to send things. So, yeah, those are the things I missed from Holland. Those are just luxury things. But I do prefer living in Sweden. I love living here. I don't think I would ever move back to Holland, but every country has their pluses and minuses. Yeah, thank you for watching. Why don't you put in the comments if you live somewhere else than the country you grew up in? What are things you miss from your country? Thank you for watching. See you all next time. Bye. YouTube says. Oh, still rolling. YouTube says you might enjoy this video. Go ahead and give it a try.